Good morning, good-looking people, and you're good-looking because you're always looking, and of course, you are finding the good in everything and in everybody. Hope you're well. Hope you're having a great and successful week so far. Today, we're doing the Hayom for the 3rd of Nissan. Today, being that it was the Rebbe Rashab's Yortzeit yesterday, today's Hayom discusses just a sample of the learning that the Rebbe Rashab did. There's a concept of quality versus quantity, or intensive versus extensive. Usually when we talk about those concepts, there's a trade-off. I'm doing one versus the other. However, in this case, when we're talking about the Rebbe Rashab and his study schedule, it's not quality versus quantity, it's quality and quantity. It's not extensive versus intensive, it's actually extensive and intensive. He's getting it all done. And the messaging of this Hayom is just to show us that if we put in the time and we put in the effort, we really can accomplish everything and anything. So let's read the Hayom inside. Then I'll give you a couple of the notes on how he connects it to the day. So for the Hayom for the 3rd of Nisan, it reads, the daily study schedule of my revered father, the Rebbe Rashab, included the daily passage of Chumash with commentary of Rashi, reciting Tanakh by heart, one chapter from the Torah, one chapter from prophets, and one from writings, one chapter of Mishnah, a session of in-depth Gemara study covering two folio pages a week, a review of 3 Talmudic folios per day, a study of the Talmud Yerushalmi, a study session, though not every day, in the works of the halachic authorities. And in the course of a year, he would also study the entire Medrash Rabbah. In weeks in which the text of the Medrash was extensive, he would borrow time and would repay it from those texts that had shorter weeks. So the last part is saying that if he was learning something that was very intensive and it had a lot in it, he would study more in it than he would normally schedule and then borrow the time from a week where it's not as long and doesn't require as much time. So first of all, let's connect it to the day. First of all, we talked about yesterday was the Rebbe Rashab's Yortzeit. We also talked about Yisachar, how we had the 2 sins. Sin for Nigla, sin for the quiet sin for Hasidus and mystical concepts, and how the Yisachar stood for learning. Connecting that it's within that 24-hour period of time, the Rebbe is talking about learning. We also talked about how every day of Nisan corresponds to one of the 12 months of the year. Being this is the 3rd day of Nisan, that would be Nisan, Iyar, Sivan. What was Sivan? Sivan was the giving of the Torah. And today we're talking about learning Torah, all the different concepts of Torah, and all the different study sessions for Torah. So the messaging of the day is quite clear, that the Rebbe Rayatz was explaining the Rebbe Rashab's learning schedule to teach us that we have to make time, we need to put in the effort, and there doesn't necessarily have to be this trade-off. We can do quality and quantity. Of course, there's opportunity cost. Something's got to give. But I'm sure if we all analyze our time schedule, I'm sure we can do a little bit more. We can have a little bit more intensive and extensive learning as well. Have a great and successful week. Wishing you all the best and a lot of studying Torah. Talk to you tomorrow.